Welcome back to PhD Completion. This is a 10-part series on the mistakes that you can make or not make that can derail your success in graduate school. When you're finished with your degree, you have options. You can take the career path that takes you into the academy, such as a faculty member, a staff member, an administrator, a researcher within the academy. You can also become a non academic individual expert in your field and go into industry. Mistake number 4, waiting until you have finished your degree to begin your job search. There is no likelihood that just because you finish your degree, your dream job is going to show up right after you're finished. In academia, they advertise jobs based on the funding availability. If they have money early on, then they will advertise early on. Sometimes they have to wait till the fiscal year is over, so then they advertise in July. It's important for you to keep your eyes open and think about the deadlines because your job might come up in a different cycle than when you're finished with your dissertation. Your PhD is more marketable than you think. There was I call it a recent article, but it was probably out about 10 years ago called Train for Nothing, where students don't really know what can I do with this degree. Even if it's an engineering degree, even if it's a humanities degree or an education degree, it is really not the discipline itself. It is the skills that you bring to the table having completed a PhD. PhD, the EDD, it's a research degree, and one thing that you know how to do is to manage a project from start to finish. You have some research skills where you just don't put something into Google and then go, oh, well, I didn't find it. We're done. We know how to keep searching. We know how to go to the next level. We know what keywords to use. We know words that are similar to the words that we are interested in. We know how to do research. We know how to analyze results. We know how to produce results. We have some time management skills. We actually have the skills to be independent, to be an independent researcher. We don't need anyone to watch over our shoulder. We just can get the job done where someone says, I need this done. They might not even need to tell us how to do it because we can figure that part out. We have some skills that other people do not. In academic jobs and in non academic jobs, we have skills that we bring to the table. It's important to know that. It's important to be able to sell yourself and the skills that you bring. Build skills as you go. And even when you're in graduate school and you're looking for perhaps a new research assistant, because perhaps the funding went away on the one that you were on before, and now you have to find a new advisor or a new mentor, and you have to tell them what can you offer them, what can you bring to their project. You've been in school for a while, so I can't think that you've been in school and didn't learn anything. Sometimes when we're thinking about where can I find an academic job, and I think that first generation students sometimes might have a hard time with that question because academic jobs or even non-academic jobs that require a PhD, they aren't advertised in the local newspaper, if you will. You can find academic jobs in the Chronicle of Higher Ed. They post in different states. Also, higheredjobs.com. They also post administrative jobs by state, by whether or not you want to work remotely or not. And there are a lot of categories that you can filter on higheredjobs.com. One of the best things that higheredjobs.com has each year is they do a salary survey every year and they put out the average salary in your particular discipline for assistant professors. Because sometimes we have no idea what is normal. And what is okay if somebody offers us $23,000 to be an assistant professor, but the city is New York? That's not going to work. You might as well work at Walmart, McDonald's, whatever. So that salary survey is important to know. What's the average salary for my particular discipline? There's also academic360.com. There's also WIHE.com. It's womeninhighered.com. Inside highered.com also offer academic jobs. And for non-academic careers, you can look in LinkedIn. I've noticed that some students, if they're looking for a postdoc, they do a cold call to someone who is an expert in their field, and you send them a letter. Hey, Dr. So and so, I'm recently about to graduate and I'm looking for a postdoc. I'm wondering if you have any funding. Of course, you can get ChatGPT to help you with the letter, but nonetheless, don't be afraid to do a cold call because that's how postdocs are hired. Then there's also nonprofits, or else you could create your own nonprofit. I've known students who have, worked in industry, didn't like it, wouldn't even consider academia, and so they started their own nonprofit, for example, teaching students to be interested in STEM careers. These are things that people do, so you can be an entrepreneur. And because you're an expert on the topic that we talked about, whatever your dissertation is on, you have something to offer. Most professional organizations usually have a database. So, for example, as a sociologist, our database is asanet.org. So there's also MERT that also provides academic jobs. There's also sciencecareers.org, and there are plenty of other organizations or online platforms that provide information about academic jobs or non academic jobs or jobs that require a PhD. So, by all means, make use of them. As I mentioned before, you need to manage the project, which is writing your dissertation, while you are looking for a job. It's important to secure your future before the dissertation is done, because a finished PhD or EDD without a job, that's not the goal. Therefore, it's important to maintain the priority, which is working on your dissertation, of course, but create a job strategy that works for you on a regular basis. Set jobs alerts to alert you that, hey, somebody, maybe the institution that you want to work, they're hiring. Update your CV every time you win an award, every time you do a presentation, every time you go to a conference, add a line to the CV. Connect with your mentors and peers. It's important that if you're looking for a job and you're on the job market, that's the terminology, that if you're on the job market, that first of all, your mentor should know that you're on the job market because your mentor is going to have to write you a recommendation, but that you let as many people know that you're on the job market. If you're on the job market and you're attending a professional conference, everybody that you meet that day or those 3 days of the conference should know that you are on the job market. Hi, my name is whatever, and I'm currently on the job market. I plan to finish my PhD in 2026. And then talk about whatever it is you're interested in. But everybody should know that you are on the job market when they meet you. Because if they know that of a job that's coming up in the near future within their institution, or if that person might have a grant, they might be hiring somebody in the near future, they need to know that you are interested. It would be great if grad school was just about taking courses and when you're done, they give you your PhD. It doesn't happen that way. The coursework is just one aspect of graduate school, and there are two other major milestones that you actually have to overcome in order to graduate. It's important that you manage your relationships, and the most important relationship is the relationship with the mentor, and then the relationship with the committee, and then thinking about how long do you actually want to be in graduate school. Some people end up staying 9 or 10 years, and part of it is they might not have planned to stay 9 or 10 years, but here they are. It's important to think at the very beginning about the end. Begin with the end in mind. How long do you want to be in graduate school? And can you plan out the time from the very beginning, beyond the coursework? Thank you again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more valuable tips on how to succeed in graduate school. Feel free to share your questions, your experiences in the comments below. Get questions, contact us at PhDCompletion.com. We're dedicated to helping you achieve your success. Thank you.